2K Sports pregame show.
This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here, joined by the great Shaquille O'Neal and the equally great Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight at Charlotte as the
on the floor for Charlotte. At point guard. Hello and thanks for joining us on Noche La NBA, the NBA's celebration of Latin heritage, both among its players and fans. With Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge will join us from the sidelines. Looking at the last game for the New York Knicks, it was a win again.
And I was impressed with how comfortable they looked in that environment, made the most of their possessions.
They were extremely efficient, Greg. They ran their offense well and took good high percentage shots.
So let's take a look at the Charlotte starting lineup. Smith is out there with Tyreke Evans. Then it's Wiggins. Then there's Chris Bosh. And it's Howard in at the 5 spot. Now here's Teague. He kicks to Parker. New York moving it around. Lopez, a screen on Howard. Parker drives in. It's stolen by Smith. Here's Evans, and the dunk by Evans.
And Evans there showing the ability to elevate. When you let him get near the bucket, he has the ability to hurt your feelings.
Tyreke Evans, the 4th pick back in 2009, won Rookie of the Year.
Averaged 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists right off the bat. And it's been about the injuries in terms of what's held him back. If he can stay healthy, and that's a big if, the talent is obvious.
Here's Smith. Jimmy Butler making his last shot. Puts it up from 17. That one wide left.
Yeah, bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
I'm not sure why he doesn't continue to move the basketball. Would have served that team much better.
Now here's Lopez. His last outing, he had 8 points. 6 on the shot clock. Lopez a screen. And Butler, here we go. Over Wiggins. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
And watching Jimmy Butler, he just offers so much on offense from a scoring standpoint. You know, obviously he can get to the rack and draw the defense to him. Also really improved his ability to knock it down from beyond. Just a complete offensive player.
And Greg, as you said, Butler is a threat to score from any part of the floor.
It's a bit of a dying art, though, hitting that mid-range jump shot. Butler also does a great job of getting to the line. That's increased over the course of his career. Just a well-rounded offensive player.
Now, here's Howard. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. Yep, that one goes in there.
Oh, found money right there as Howard knocks it down.
It's Redick on the wing. The dish to Lopez. Back to Redick. Shoots. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
I'll tell you, the feed puts him in prime position to convert. The assist was where it needed to be.
Evans kicks to Howard. Smith outside. Back to Howard. And it's sent back by Lopez.
Lopez needs to hold down the fort on defense. An incredible wingspan to get that one.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
Yes, you love that they're not settling for anything outside the paint. Excellent work getting right to the tin.
Here's Evans. Jabari Parker making his last shot. Shoots over Redick, and it's Evans missing.
And whether he's a great off-balance shooter or not, the lean is probably not the best option on that shot.
Charlotte trails by 4. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Smith kicks to Bosh. Wiggins dishes to Howard. Over Lopez. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. New York called for the foul.
I mean, remember, Howard has led the league in free throw attempts on 4 separate occasions.
First trip to the line for him here.
Not the best statistic for him in terms of his performance at the line. Very low numbers.
The Knicks leading by 3. Teague with the ball. Now Smith defending. Teague the pass to Butler. And stolen by Howard. Evans kicks to Howard. Smith dishes to Evans. Screen by Smith. Now the feed to Wiggins. Howard setting the pick for Wiggins. Bosch passes to Evans. 4 on the clock. Shoots over Redick. Jimmy Butler with the rebound. Pass to Teague. The three. That one misses. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Knicks lead by 3. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And a guy who seems to improve every season, Jimmy Butler. He spoke with us.
It's crazy because I never thought that.
And hard to doubt the dedication of Jimmy Butler. He's found a way to overcome obstacles at each important point along the way.
You know, he's a self-made player. And if Butler can stay healthy, boy, the sky's the limit.
We welcome you back to Noche Latina. Becoming an annual tradition is always here on 2K Sports and always exciting. And what stands out to you from New York in this one?
Just playing suffocating defense. That's been the difference here for them.
Well, the commitment is evident, and they are simply phenomenal at their aggression on the defensive end right now.
They've got Jimmy Butler. Brook Lopez is out there with Parker. Then there's Teague, and it's Redick in at the 2. That's the 5 for New York right now. Mark down low that time, and he got the 3-second call. Of course, we talk about speed and quickness being a difference maker on offense, which players really use those attributes to lock down players defensively.
Well, I think it's hard not to look at Marcus Smart and Jay Crowder. The kind of physical attributes, meaning speed, toughness, length, but they also have the mindset necessary to look opposite some of the best players in the league and say, not on my watch. I'm going to get down in my stance, and I'm going to prohibit you from getting to your strengths. It's really maybe underappreciated by everyone except coaches and fans of the game.
True, and you and I were just talking about Tony Allen.
That's a great point. I mean, Tony Allen has made his career specifically on the defensive end because, as you know, he's an opportunistic cutter, and if you leave him open, he can make an uncontested mid-range. But the reality is Tony Allen is in the NBA because he is a great defensive player.
And here's Smith after Jabari Parker made that last three-pointer. And stolen by Jeff Teague. Now here comes Teague leading the break, and it's slammed in by Teague.
And one great play leads to another with Teague. His fast hands and fast feet making things happen.
Smith kicks to Evans. 13 feet away. Wiggins against Butler. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
And still varying opinions out there of what Andrew Wiggins can and can't do. But one thing that's indisputable, he's an incredible scorer. Whether it's half-court transition, he can flat out fill it up in a hurry.
And Wiggins, his young career, just getting better and better at scoring, Greg, while increasing his workload.
Yeah, and very few scorers can do that, especially from that 2-guard spot. Wiggins has that special talent where he can flat out carry an offense. Scary to think that this is a kid who is just scratching the surface.
Redick with the bucket.
So excellent team basketball. Use the screen to free himself up and drill the jump shot.
Parker with the steal. Wiggins against Butler. He dishes it to T. 1:24 left to play here in the half. They set the pick. 5 on the clock. Lopez kicks to Parker. Lets the 3 fly. He can't get that one to fall. Now Charlotte takes it the other way. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, I thought the opponent's defense just never showed up.
I mean, you have to question their effort, Greg. They did a great job of penetrating and kicking out. The defense simply wasn't up to the task.
Now T, following Tyreke Evans' three-point attempt. Butler against Wiggins. 17-foot shot on the way. If they time it right, they can end this quarter with a 2-for-1.
And that's how you want to end the quarter.
Howard kicks to Evans. Dishes to Smith. Here's Howard. Goes up again. It's rebounded by New York.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Here's Parker, and the officials call a traveling violation. Evans doesn't go for him. And so it's New York heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They've been playing some ferocious defense. Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside you. For the Knicks, the first quarter was pretty even. They did jump out to a lead in the opening period, but 4 points was the biggest it got. For the Knicks, hey, big fella, what's your take on New York so far?
Well, they're getting higher percentage looks.
And now, folks.
And now the third quarter have to get going. The Knicks leading by 7. On the court for Charlotte, Wiggins is out there with Chris Bosh. And it's Smith. Then there's Tyreke Evans. And it's Howard in at the 5 down low. Parker right side. Lopez a screen on Howard. Parker dishes to Teague. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Teague's got the first points to start out the third quarter for New York. Charlotte trails by 10. And Greg, when Jabari Parker is healthy, he has shown that he can be a go-to scorer in this league.
Parker reminds me a bit of how Carmelo Anthony looked at the same age. His ability to just blow by defenders is going to always be something he can lean on. Just fantastic with how efficient he is at this age.
The Knicks shooting one of the high points for them in this game at 54%. Teague with the ball. Now Smith defending. Here's Parker. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a 3-point play opportunity.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
You can tell they've got their foot on the gas pedal right now. No slowing down. The defense starting to look helpless.
Doors with every team looking to spread the floor, get that space. Most big men are being asked to increase their range. Is the practice time going into that taking away from working, for instance, on other fundamentals that a big guy should be working on?
Here's how you know this is for real. When you hear Dwight Howard talking about the fact that this guy is going to spend an entire summer trying to develop the range because he wants to extend his playing career.
Sure.
Dwight Howard at one time was the single most dominant back to the basket, low post center. They surrounded him with shooters. They put him in pick and roll, and he was an absolute monster. You know what? I don't know if it'll take away from the other fundamentals for the center. I do know that the role of center has drastically changed in the NBA.
And stolen by Jeff Teague. And here we go. Teague heading to the hoop. And the shot goes in. Teague's got 5 points now this quarter.
3 for 3, and that's always a good way to start the second half.
Smith the pass to Evans. Howard with a screen on Redick. Here's Evans. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Yeah, and those broad shoulders of Howard, tough to navigate when he's setting the screen.
Charlotte shooting their 5th free throw of the game here.
And their success rate on the season, right around 77%.
And here's Redick. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. 5 on the clock. Here's Butler. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good.
You know, missed that one, but still a really good start coming off the break. 3 for 4 now.
Teague against Smith. Here's Evans. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Evans has got it back down to single digits for Charlotte.
Yeah, you got to appreciate the mindset of Smith. Solid at running the offense and finding his teammates who are open.
Outside Teague. Butler kicks to Redick. Parker against Bosch. Parker inside, and it's sent back by Howard.
And Howard takes his shot blocking very seriously. Skying up and sending him back was his impressive vertical.
Charlotte trails by 9.
Well, you just look back on the history of the New York Knicks and what rich history and tradition they have as a franchise, the different eras, the different groups they've had, some of the more memorable teams in NBA history.
Evans kicks to Wiggins. Lopez against Howard. Over Lopez. Second chance shot. Howard can't hit. And thinking back to great players and teams from the Knicks, Doris, you can look at teams in any decade and find memorable players.
Well, listen, if you're talking about the 1970s, it's Willis Reed. You're talking about the 80s and 90s. You're talking about Bernard King, Patrick Ewing, Allen Houston, the great Pat Riley at the helm. And more recently, you're talking about the likes of Carmelo Anthony. The Knicks have had some ballers in their history.
And a fast break now for the Knicks. Tries to snap the cold streak, and Redick the bucket on the assist by Teague. And it's 6 points for J.J. Redick.
Well, a point guard must understand window of opportunity, and Jeff Teague specializes in exactly that.
Evans left side. Shoots over Redick. Stayed with it, but they couldn't get it to fall. And so it's the New York Knicks holding on to an 11-point cushion as we get ready to take a break. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Charlotte trails by 11. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. And New York, looking at who they've got. Brook Lopez is out there with Parker. Then there's J.J. Redick. Then there's Jimmy Butler. And it's Teague in at the 1. Just 4 to shoot. Smith for 3. Offensive rebound. Howard lays it up and banks it in. Howard's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for Charlotte.
And Howard, always one of the top offensive rebounders in the league.
Now Teague. Lopez a screen. Back to Teague. Butler against Evans. And it's sent back by Howard. Butler against Wiggins. Inside, here's Bosch, and Chris Bosch with the slam.
And being that Bosch is 6'11", dunking comes easy. And once he's this close to the basket, he's ready to attack.
Parker dishes to Lopez. Banked in off the glass. And the Knicks lead by 9.
Boy, love watching Brook Lopez go to work. Superb at playing to his strengths down on the box.
Kicks it to Evans. 13 feet away. And the rebound goes to Lopez. Lopez has got 5 rebounds tonight. Butler against Wiggins. Butler passes to Teague. Lopez a screen. Teague kicks to Parker. And the dunk by Parker.
Just a great job there from Teague to locate where his teammate was and get the ball to him on time.
Charlotte calls timeout. Doris, what an honor. Inducted into your college's Hall of Fame, something not many of us can say. What does that kind of honor do for the confidence for you personally going forward?
You know what? Providence College is a place that means a great deal to me. So what that Hall of Fame induction did was just remind me of all the special memories that I shared with my teammates. I'm close with many of them today. And Kevin, you know this. You know, if you've ever been inside a locker room, it's those moments when you're laughing until your stomach hurts. I'd say we were the Hall of Fame fun team. That's what I'd say.
I think we're on the fun team here on 2K. 2 points. That one goes. 8 points for Tyreek Evans.
Well, late rotation by the defense, and Wiggins has the vision to find the open man.
Lopez a screen. There's the pick. And Reddick kicks the tee. Lopez a screen on Howard. Here's Parker. Lopez dishes to Butler. Lopez sets a screen for T. That's going to be out of bounds. The Knicks will retain possession. On defense, Charlotte. 9-point game. Butler passes to Lopez. The shot's good on the assist by Butler.
And at this point, just sort of running through the paces as it appears it'll be a nice win here for New York.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, you know, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And an important milestone for them tonight as they pick up win number 10. And a great team effort tonight, helped in large part with contributions, and the nice night it ended up being for Jeff T.
Boy, forget about his stats for a second, right? What impressed me most was his stamina. It seemed like he was involved in every play. And with that kind of activity, I don't know how you don't wear down.
Good on the first, and that brings them to within 10. And a whole new group out on the floor right now for the Knicks. And then for Charlotte, Frank Kaminsky, he's checked in for Bosch. Allen comes in for Wiggins, and Barea subbed in for Smith. And both free throws good for Evans. 40 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Smart kicks to McConnell. Booker left side. Pass to Smart. It's deflected.
And really nothing they can do now. They just got to play this one out.
No, it appears that this one is absolutely done. No sense wasting energy trying to come back.
So it's New York picking up the win. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, made the difference.
Yeah.
David, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for